Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is part 2 of my series of beginner tips for paintball, and we're going to go a little more in depth today and give you an idea of how to hold and fire a paintball gun properly, as well as some basic techniques to get some kills on the field and save yourself from getting lit up, railed, blown out, whatever you kids call it nowadays. So first of all, how to hold a paintball gun. So you're new to the field. This might be your first time paintballing, and you're just holding your gun out. You don't really know what to do. So you're going to use your tank like a stock, basically, and you're going to lock that right in here to your shoulder pocket right here. And you're going to hear a term called chicken winging. That's when you have your arm out like this. A lot of new players do it, and it exposes your whole elbow, which is a large surface area that you could get shot in. So you're going to tuck that in, kind of like this. You want to get a good grip here, one on the foregrip. Get that pocketed in there right there. The tank is your stock, remember that. And you're going to lift it up to where your nose is pretty much parallel to the back of your marker here. This is a Nizodin KD2, by the way, which is my mechanical speedball marker. I'm going to be doing a review on it very shortly, as well as some shooting test videos and efficiency tests, seeing how many pods I can get out of a 3000 and a 4500 PSI tank. So anyway, how to hold the gun. You're going to lock it in like that. No chicken wing, keep it tight. You're going to keep your nose parallel to it, and wherever your head goes, that's where your barrel goes. So if you peek out of a corner, you got 2 points of contact. So wherever you look, it's almost like the marker is an extension of your nose, of your face. So wherever you're looking is where you're shooting, because you can't blind fire in paintball. You can't do any of this stuff because, well, the referees will yell at you and tell you not to do it, because you could accidentally hit a referee and get kicked out of the game, lose the game for your team, or God forbid somebody's mask falls off and you're blind firing all over the place, you hit them in the eye or something. It has happened before. So make sure you're taking cover, and when you're moving from one piece of cover to another, make sure you're running. I'm going to get into running and gunning in my more advanced tips, because running and shooting is a little bit more of an advanced tip. We're just kind of talking to the beginners right now. So make sure if you look to a piece of cover, you head check first, make sure it's clear, you don't see a stream of paint or a whole bunch of guys on the opposing team scoping out the spot you're trying to run to. Especially if it's like an objective, like the flag and a capture the flag. That's usually a hot zone to get shot up. So if you're a new player, I would probably let a more experienced player make the run for the flag, and let him risk getting lit up. So you want to make sure you play the outside of the field. When you're playing woods ball, it's usually a pretty good size map, and instead of going straight up the middle, use the advantage of the sides of your field, the actual outlines or whatever, to where you're pretty much riding the out of bounds line, because that prevents you from being flanked or run up from behind or the side to where all your opponents are in front of you. So that eliminates a huge chance of you getting hit. Not to mention, people don't really expect you to be playing that outside as much. It might take a little more effort to get out there, but once you're out there, you're a lot safer. So I'm going to be doing drill videos in the near future, going over certain drills and techniques such as snap shooting, posting, running and gunning, sprinting, taking cover, sliding, diving, etc. All the techniques you're going to need to be a successful paintball player. But right now, for you beginners, I'm just going to go into a couple of the basic techniques you're going to need to survive out there on the field. So first of all is head checking. Pretend this is a bunker here. Head checking is when you have your marker out of play for just a moment, and you literally just peek out. Either, I wouldn't recommend posting over the top of a bunker, because the entire field can see the top of your head, as where if you just head check out to the right or head check out to the left, that whole side of the field can't see your head. It's just whoever's on that side of the field over there. So that eliminates a huge chance of you getting hit. And the purpose of head checking is to quickly look out and see where the opposing players are, so you know either where to shoot, so you can push them into cover and your team can move up for a flanking position, or also you know where the fire's coming from, so you know where to what's a good piece of cover for you to run to, so you're not getting shot at. So head checking is very important. I'll be doing drills on that, explaining more in depth how to head check. So snap shooting is basically like head checking, but you're actually firing at your target. So taught you guys how to hold it properly, and you don't want your barrel clanging into the side of your cover and scraping up against trees and scratching up your barrel and stuff. So make sure you're far enough out to where you can pop in and out of cover. like that. And remember, wherever your head goes, your barrel is following it. Your barrel and your eyes are one line of sight. Just like that. So when you snap shoot, you're popping out quickly, either one ball like I'm doing right here, where you're feathering the trigger, going into ramping, or if you have a mechanical marker like this, trying to get as many balls off as you can in a short amount of time. And what that's going to do is that's going to push your enemies back into cover. And that's one of the main objectives, just to push them back into cover so people can move up, or you can, while you push them into cover, you can go run up the field and take a new position. So the difference between snap shooting and posting out is when you're snap shooting, you're just popping up, taking a couple shots. If you're posting, you're coming out like this and you're just continuing to shoot. Your head's out, you're laying down a lane, or you're basically just providing cover fire. Another very important tip is to keep your opponents guessing. You don't want them to know where you're coming out. So you don't want to be popping out of a piece of cover in the same exact spot, because you're going to pop out into a full-blown facial and get yourself out. So what you want to do is maybe head check high, so you see where they're at, and then somebody starts shooting right up there, and then you pop out low, so there's streams going right above your head. Or just the opposite, you might want to head check low, and then when you pop out of that piece of cover, take a one ball, or come out feathering and try and post up if you can. Another thing that I'm going to cover way more in depth is that you don't want to come out of a piece of cover. Say I'm coming out of a bunker right here, you don't want to come out offhanded like this, because I'm exposing my whole shoulder, head, hopper, all that good stuff. So I would switch hands in this instance. So when you pop out, it's literally just your head and your gun that's poking out just a pinch. So on the flip side, if I'm coming out of a piece of cover on the right side, I wouldn't pop out offhanded like that either. I would switch back to my primary hand, which is right-handed. So something you can do as a beginner to get better is switching hands, and this is essential to paintballing, because like I said, you don't want to be popping out on a left side bunker offhanded. So while you're just sitting there watching TV, have your gun degassed, of course, no balls in it, safety first, guys, but just sit there and